think we are live. If you saw my little stretch first, then I guess we were live 5 seconds ago. But welcome everybody. Welcome to day one of our 5-day nutrition reset. I hope you all are having a great morning so far. It's only 10 a.m. so hopefully you've checked a couple things off your list. I know a few of you have already. I know I have as well. And it just feels really good to just feel like you accomplished something first thing in the morning. So I think that's great for just having a challenge like this is, you get to feel a little more confident about checking things off and getting things done, which is awesome. So all this week we're going to do live trainings here in the group every day. Usually 10 a.m. I think Thursday is going to have to be a little bit different. We have something else going on at 10. But what I want to talk to you guys about today on our day one is getting your mindset correct for this, right? So if you've enrolled in the 5-day challenge, you likely have some weight loss goals in mind. Likely you have tried before as well. And so what I'm finding with the clients that I have is a lot of the success and failure and the difference between the two comes down to the attitudes that you carry and the mindset that you carry around the changes that you're going to make. So I want to talk to you about two things in our little training today. Number one is finding your fire, okay? So this is really about figuring out why exactly you want to reach a goal and really getting very clear on what that goal is in this process as well, okay? So a lot of clients come to me saying, oh, well, my doctor just ran blood work and my cholesterol's up and he said I have to lose some weight. And they're saying that, oh, the things that are going wrong with me are due to weight and I need to lose weight. My family's concerned, I don't feel comfortable in my skin and things like that. And a lot of that is very externally driven, meaning that there are people out there or influences outside of yourself that are saying this is what needs to happen, right? And I think if you have ever met a small child, my daughter is 5, you know already that someone telling you what to do does not usually lead to you doing those things, right? So like this morning, getting my daughter ready, it has to be her idea in order for it to be true. And I think that is the attitude that people carry throughout their entire lives, and myself included. And so these external reasons for getting healthier and losing weight and doing whatever it is that you need to be doing health-wise has to be coming from you. It has to be coming from your ideals, your goals, you internally, for it really to drive you, right? And I had a lady not too long ago who, actually this is not the first one either, who was telling me that really her main driver for losing weight, she didn't really want to say it out loud, was that she just didn't want to shop at the plus size stores anymore. She's like, I just don't even feel comfortable walking in there. I feel like I don't belong there. And that has nothing to do with the establishments that are developed in those stores. It's just something that she feels is not her, right? And so her driving force behind this really has nothing to do with her health or what else is saying about her or wants for her and all of that kind of stuff. It's really that one little trigger, that putting on the pants and not fitting in there, feeling uncomfortable wearing short sleeves in the summertime, like all of these little things that just irk you and drive you to make these changes, right? And so if you can really think about that this week and hone in on what exactly you would like to change, what exactly that you would like to see, how you would like to feel, it's going to be so much easier to follow through. Just not even just for this week and the tasks that are on your checklist, but as you branch out and you expand on what you're learning in this week going forward, that attitude and doing it for the reasons that resonate with you specifically are going to be the biggest drivers for you, okay? So what I'd love to see you all do today, in addition to checking off your checklist, is taking a little bit of time to sit with that, even taking pen to paper, doing a little bit of journaling on what exactly it is that you'd like to see and all of that, I think would be really helpful to help get your mindset in the right place, okay? So mindset tip number one is getting this fire lit, figuring out what it is that you want specifically, and planning your goals around that, okay? So number 2, and this has come up a few times already in this past week with some new challengers, got a couple emails about this kind of stuff, is being realistic, okay? So if you're trying to lose weight, it's pretty likely that you have been in this situation before. You've probably tried, probably failed before, right? That's probably not your step 1. Although I know that it actually is for a couple of you, which is very surprising. And kudos to you for never having to do this before, right? So I think what is problematic with trying and failing is that we end up adopting these dieting rules and these things that are supposed to work. Something that somebody had told you, like, what did Oprah say in the 90s? You can't eat past 6 p.m., you have to do intermittent fasting, carbs are the enemy, like all of these other things that we've collected over the years but aren't necessarily helpful. I think it's really important to keep an open mind about the types of foods that we're eating, the routines that we're setting in place this week, and everything else that's going on here. Just keep an open mind and understand that you may have to let go of some of those rules that you've been carrying that, let's be honest, have not served you, right? Because if they had, you may not even be here in the first place. If you had already solved your problem, if you had already lost the weight, we wouldn't even be face-to-face right now anyway, okay? So, second part of this, and I do recommend maybe taking pen to paper on this one as well, is just kind of writing down what established rules that you are following, right? So you tend not to eat past a certain time. You aren't eating carbs, or you shy away from anything that has carbs. And if you're successful with that, let me know. I've never met anyone that's actually been successful with that. And just thinking about like all the foods that you're not allowed to eat at this point, and kind of just think about where that may be coming from. I know a lot of us carry rules from, family members and things like that. It may have parents that dieted way back when. In my family, all the women in my family dieted when I was a kid, and so I remember all of the varying things that happened throughout the 90s and the 2000s, and all of that changed. And to be quite honest, none of it was very successful, right? And so just kind of write that down and just stare it in the face. I think that's a really helpful exercise, just to see what is actually driving the decisions that you're making on a day-to-day basis, okay? And now, so the second part of that is really just giving this challenge a chance. We have 5 days together. There are some things on the challenge list, either on your checklist or recipes and things like that, that you may be shying away from. And we did talk a little bit about things that you can substitute and all of that as necessary in the live that I did on Saturday, so you can certainly go back to watch that. But I invite you to just kind of be curious about trying this going a different way, okay? And what can possibly happen, and what can potentially happen in 5 days. And the other side of that is, what do you have to lose for just 5 days? Like, how much progress would you backtrack on if you changed up your routine for just 5 days? So just be open to it, be curious, and you may be pleasantly surprised to see that you don't need to be starving in order to see the number on the scale go down. You don't need to be spending half of your day in the gym. You don't need to be giving up all of your favorite foods. You can be incorporating a lot of awesome new foods in this as well, and it can be a really positive experience. I feel like so many dieters have had such negative experiences with trying to lose weight and being on really strict meal plans and exercise programs and things like that, and ultimately failed because it was too hard to maintain and it wasn't realistic. So, anything that you're changing this week and going forward, you really have to think about that sustainability aspect of this and make sure that what you're doing is going to be something that resonates with you and something that you're going to want to follow through on because you actually enjoy it and you like it. And that goes for foods and types of exercises and all of that. We're going to get into that a little bit more as we go throughout this week. But so that's mindset tip number 2, is really just getting real and being optimistic and open to the challenge that exists for this week. So If you guys want to think about that, expand on that, have a little time to work with that information, that's fantastic. But I'd love to see what you're thinking in the comments. So definitely comment below. Let me know if you feel like you're open-minded to this. If you want to share any of the dieting rules that you've been carrying, anything like that, I'd love to see it in the comments as well. So that is it for today. If you guys have questions about the challenge or anything that we're doing, feel free to post in the group as well. We're always here to help. Definitely love the group dynamic as well. So we're here to support each other. So feel free to post and comment as you will. Otherwise, I'm going to meet you guys right back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. We're going to be talking a little bit more about the specifics of creating a healthy nutrition plan going forward after these 5 days and some of the key components that I put in there for my clients. Okay? So you all have a fabulous rest of your day, and we will talk to you tomorrow.